Hey guys, welcome back to the bunker. Thanks so much for being with us here tonight. There's a thing that happens in some places. In Nashville, they have this band that's called the Long Players, and they will get together and they'll perform a record in its entirety. And it's a really neat thing. The musicians can get together and they can sort of pay tribute and suss out to these works of art that were so influential to all of us, and pick the right musicians that were influenced by these specific records. And so it's a really cool thing that happens. I think there's some different towns where they do it, but my buddy Tom Lewis has a thing called Western Fidelity where he does this on some of these iconic country records. And I always kind of wanted to have him out here to do a little bit on the next waltz. It just shows when he does it, and it's just gone forever. And I was like, let's film one of these. And so we've done that for you here tonight. And this is, I asked Tom to pick which one he wanted to do, and he wanted to do the record Out of Hand by Gary Stewart. So we've got some amazing local Austin musicians that are going to, and these are all musicians that were really affected by this record and by Gary Stewart, which you're probably familiar with him. Gary Stewart is, I call him the king of the honky tonks, and through most of his life he was playing honky tonks. You know, he had a brief moment where he had these big hits that were definitely on the jukebox in Bandera when I was a kid, and but then he was the guy who, man, he played at those dance halls all through his career. And these songs are really amazing. I think you're going to love it. It was such a kind of a learning experience where you set them up and you hear these licks and this arrangements and you can see the way that the session musicians, how they came up with these things, and then Gary Stewart, the way he could sing all of these things. We've got to lower the keys 3 times so anybody can sing these things, because he sang so high, was such an amazing vocalist. Or else we had like Kelley doing a song, to be able to sing high enough the way Gary Stewart did in the same key. So I know you're going to love this. It just shows the brilliance of this music and the brilliance of the arrangements of this golden age of Nashville country radio. And so here performing the songs from the Gary Stewart record Out of Hand is Western Fidelity with a bunch of special guests, so enjoy.
Well, I remember hearing about Gary through the years from like the older folks, because I know he had a loyal following in Texas and played the dance halls real heavy and could rely on that even when he had difficulty selling tickets kind of nationally, which must have been a strange thing for him, because I know he had those, he had those string of hits and he was so popular on the radio, but I know it didn't necessarily translate into, the touring circuit as much. But I know, like, when I played at Billy Bob's, I saw all these cool photographs of him there and the big draw that he could get. And I think kind of in a way, we were talking about his vulnerability, and George Jones had some of that vulnerability, but somebody else that really reminds me of Gary Stewart, especially since I just recorded his songs, was really James Hand, Slim. There was like a similar type of down and out nature that was just who the men were, who Gary was. And the man had more than enough heartache and tragedy in his life to sing about the things, to warrant the singing that he was doing. And the other thing that really stuck out to me about him was how traditional his big hits were in a time where traditional country music was really vanishing from the landscape. In fact, I think he might have been the last guy to have big pop country hits with an upright bass on the recording. And so to be in here today and recreate that, if anybody knows me, that's just my bread and butter and what I love to do. So, and, touching in on those heartstrings, that vulnerability is something that as I get older, I think I'm able to find more in myself from what I've been through, my own path. And, you know, we was going in there listening to the recordings of Gary in between takes and stuff, and I just thought to myself, you know, may the Creator bless him for keeping it traditional, you know, and reminding us, you know, even in the 70s of what the good stuff really is. And I had a lot of fun cutting those today. I really did.
3, 4.
Every day I tell myself it's temporary, that it's only 'cause she's young that makes her want another man. Even though she makes me feel unnecessary, I found a way to help me understand. I've got this drinking thing to keep from thinking things like where you've been, who you've been with, what you've done. And it's a lonely thing, but it's the only thing that keeps a foolish man in love hanging on. If I wait up at home, I'll only ask her questions. She'd probably tell the truth, so I don't even ask. So I sit here on this bar stool, feeling helpless, and I wonder just how long a man can last. I've got this drinking thing to keep from thinking things about where you've been, who you've been with, what you've done. And it's a lonely thing, but it's the only thing that keeps a foolish man in love hanging on. I've got this drinking thing to keep from thinking things about where you've been, who you've been with, what you've done.
1, 2, 3, and Honky Tonkin sure makes you feel funky. Honky Tonkin makes you feel right. Well, take any town on a Saturday night, people out dancing in a honky tonk lights, drinking that wine, holding each other tight. You know it might look wrong, but it feels so right. You've been honky tonkin', so make you feel funky. Honky tonkin' make you feel right. Two men gambling on the table by the door, one drinking bourbon and the other drinking rum. Watching that waitress, she's a sweet young thing. Later on tonight, the band's gonna let her sing. She's been honky tonkin', so make you feel funky. Honky tonkin' make you feel right. Yeah, all them women been walking and walk,
man on the stand says that's all, Jim. Bartender hollers it's motel time. I can give you 6 to go or a bottle of wine. You've been honky tonkin', so make you feel funky. Honky tonkin', make you feel right. You've been honky tonkin', so make you feel funky. Honky tonkin', make you feel right. You've been honky tonkin', so make you feel funky. Honky tonkin', make you feel right. You've been honky tonkin', so make you feel funky. Honky tonkin', make you feel right. You've been honky tonkin', so make you feel funky. Honky tonkin', make you feel right. Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I see a sparkling little diamond on your hand. It's plain to see that you've already got a man. And I can tell you're not about to fall for any of my plans. But I see the want to in your eyes. Deep in your smile, there's a quiet, soft desire. Like the embers of a once raging fire. And you know I could light that fire again, but you know it's not wise. But I see the want to in your eyes. How strong is a band of gold? Is it strong enough to hold when a love has grown cold and a woman wants a love sweet and warm? How many women just like you have silent schemes? How many men like me do they sleep with in their dreams? Well, you can stay or you can go, and I will sympathize. But I see the want to in your eyes. I see the want to in your eyes.
A 1, 2, 3.
Dragin Shackles down in Georgia.
of country music, for me, I started out as a rockabilly singer, and I didn't even know that I liked country music at all. And so what happened was this kind of country music became, I discovered it when I moved to Texas, and all the honky tonks here, and I realized there was a lot of really great country music that was really in the same vein as the rockabilly stuff that I liked, and became heavily influenced by that music that was going on so much here in Texas when I moved here in the late 80s. But it's like, I don't know, it feels like those songs that are the basics of rock and roll. This era of country music, it's like the basics of country music, and once you learn this, then you can go off and do other things, but you got to know this stuff first. She's Actin' Single is like the ultimate sort of perfect honky-tonk country song. It's like, it's got cheating, it's got drinking, it's got misery, it's got pedal steel, and it has a modulation. I mean, it's like everything you want in a country song. It's perfect, and it's just the way he sounded singing that song. It was just so, you could just feel this pain, and I just think it's a perfect country song.
The ooze.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I've seen girls look at him before. They think I don't see. I'd like to think it makes me proud, but I'm only fooling me. I know he'll be looking back the minute I'm not there. And while he pours himself on some stranger, I'll be pouring a drink somewhere. She's acting single, and I'm drinking doubles. I hide my pain, and I drown my troubles. My heart is breaking like the tiny bubbles. He's acting single, I'm drinking double. I know all he plans to do, but I don't know where or when. And if I ask who that stranger was, he'll say just an old friend. I'm not weak, I tell myself. I stay because I'm strong. But the truth is I'm not strong enough to stop him from doing me wrong. He's acting single, I'm drinking doubles. I hide my pain, and I drown my troubles. My heart is breaking like the tiny bubbles. He's acting single, I'm drinking doubles. She's acting single, and I'm drinking doubles. I hide my pain, I drown my troubles. And my heart is breaking like the tiny bubbles. He's acting single, and I'm drinking double.
Do not drink backsliders wine as the rain ruins my alibi. Down to telling you my troubled mind. It's not the sun's bright path called me from my home. It's just that fine backsliders wine. My mama sings out in my memory. Son, don't drink no red-eyed shine. Fight for your rights. Don't just fight for right. Do not drink backsliders wine.
Well, I took myself to be a strong and loving soul till I found myself face down on the barroom floor, crying, my God, what has become of me? Dare not drink backsliders wine no more. My mama sings out in my memory. Son, don't drink no red-eyed shine. Fight for your rights. Don't just fight for right. Do not drink backsliders wine. Do not drink backsliders wine.
One, two, 3, 4.
Raised on Kentucky hard times. She almost starved before she was grown. But a good-looking country girl like Red, you know she wouldn't be hungry for too long. And it didn't take long to find out there wasn't no use in walking when she could ride. So she pulled out of East Kentucky, looking good and feeling lucky. Whole lot of warm in that country red. Sweet country red, with her long red hair hanging down. She found it wasn't hard to make life easy. With eyes as blue as the country sky, she made some laugh and she made some cry. A whole lot of warm in that country red. Sweet country red. You know she's gonna be just what she's gonna be. Ain't nobody gonna change her. She just wants a little bit more of what she's never had. Lord knows I'd be the last to blame her.
I never intended for it to get so out of hand. Out of hand, out of hand. I'm a hard-loving kind of man. I need more to keep me going than this old wedding bed. You're my kind of woman, and I'm your kind of man. Maybe that's the reason that it got so out of hand. I never intended for this to go so far. I don't think I can get off from where we are. Some time to waste, so just a taste was all that I had planned. And I never intended for it to get so out of hand. Out of hand, out of hand. I'm a hard-loving kind of man. I need more to keep me going than this gold wedding bed. You're my kind of woman, and I'm your kind of man. And maybe that's the reason that it got so out of hand. Out of hand, out of hand. I'm a hard-loving kind of man. I need more to keep me going than this old wedding bed. You're my kind of woman, and I'm your kind of man. And maybe that's the reason that it got so out of hand.
There's no place for us to hide in the neon world outside. So I suppose we'll always be in some room above the street. The city lights glow on the shade. They can't find the love we made. It's strange that love could come so sweet in some room above the street. In some room above the street. Like these in bed is when we meet. Awake upon the break of day. Then like the night we steal away. And I can make it through the hours I spend with mine and you with yours. 'Cause when I close my eyes I see you in some room above the street. in some room above the street, like thieves in bed is when we meet, awake upon the break of day, then like the night we steal away. But if she wants your love tonight, don't turn away, don't hurt her pride. Close your eyes and think of me in some room above the street.